students, welcome to Interconnecting Physics. Today in this video we will be discussing about magnetic effect of current. So without wasting time, let's get started. For regular updates you can follow me on given links. So we are coming to chapter 4, that is moving charges and magnetism. We already finished 3 chapters, first, second and then current electricity. First 2 chapters were dealing with electrostatics and third chapter was dealing with current electricity. So now we are on fourth chapter, that is moving charges and magnetism. So let's start. The history of electromagnetic theory begins with ancient measures to understand the atmospheric electricity. Basically, when there were no knowledge about electricity, then people started to understand electricity through atmospheric phenomena like thundering, lightning. People then had little understanding of electricity and were unable to explain that phenomena because they were not having any theory to explain how this thundering is occurring. So scientific understanding into the nature of electricity grew throughout the 18th and 19th century through the work of researchers such as Coulomb, Ampere, Faraday and Maxwell. So these four scientists, Coulomb, Ampere, Faraday and Maxwell, gave scientific understanding of electricity. So in the 19th century, it had become clear that electricity and magnetism were related, because earlier it was known that electricity and magnetism are two different aspects, are two different subjects. But they cleared this phenomena and told in 19th century that electricity and magnetism are basically same subjects, they are correlated with each other and their theories were unified. Wherever charge is in motion, electric current results, and magnetism is due to the electric current. The source of electric field is electric charge, whereas the source of magnetic field is electric current. So, electricity and magnetism in ancient times were treated as different subjects. Like electricity described basically charges on glass rods, cat's fur, batteries, lightning, etc. While magnetism dealt with interactions of magnets, iron filings, compass needle, etc. So in 1820, Danish scientist Ørsted found that compass needle is deflected by passing an electric current through a wire placed near the needle. So Ampere and Faraday also supported his theories, and they supported this observation by saying that electric charges in motion produce magnetic fields and moving magnets generate electricity. Means in first 2 chapters, that is electric charges and fields, we discussed the source of electric field is charge at rest. Charge at rest. But in this chapter, we will study that source of magnetic field is current, that is charges in motion. Because in unit 3, current electricity, we discussed when charges are in motion, they constitute current. And that current basically is the source of magnetic field. So this electricity and magnetism together, unification was achieved when Scottish physicist Maxwell and the Dutch physicist Lorentz gave a theory where they showed the interdependence of these two subjects, and this field is called electromagnetism. So magnetic effect of current. Today we are going to discuss magnetic effect of current. Now we are discussing just introduction and history of electromagnetism. So magnetic effect of electric current is known as electromagnetic effect, and it was observed by Ørsted. He observed when compass is brought near a current carrying conductor, the needle of compass gets deflected because of flow of electricity. This shows that electric current produces magnetic field, that is the source of magnetic field is electric current. Now in these days we are dealing with so many phenomena like electric power, telecommunication, radio, televisions, variety of other practical appliances we are using in our daily life. They all are based upon the principles of this science. Which science? That is electromagnetism. Basically, electromagnetism is the foundation for the modern technological civilization. And the four equations given by Maxwell, James Clerk Maxwell gave four equations. In next video, we will discuss that four equations. So on the basis of those four equations, he provided a mathematical model for electric, optical and radio technological such as power generation, electric motor and wireless communication, lenses, radar, etc. Means Maxwell through his four equations proved that electricity and magnetism are correlated with each other. They described how electric and magnetic fields are generated by charges, currents, and charges of the fields. These equations are named after the physicist and mathematician James Clerk Maxwell, who in 1861 and 62 published these equations, and then these equations were called as Maxwell equations. And the Maxwell very first time he used these four equations to propose that light is an electromagnetic phenomenon. So now come to our main topic, that is magnetic effect of current. So we start with Oersted experiment on magnetic effect of current. What he did, okay, his aim was to show that current carrying wire produces magnetic field. Because if current carrying wire is producing magnetic field, that means the source of magnetic field is current which is flowing in the wire. Okay, so in 1820 Oersted established the relationship between electricity and magnetism, and he concluded that current carrying wire produces a magnetic field. So the source of magnetic field is the current. So experimental setup, you see here we have a thick insulated copper wire. This AB is the wire. AB is the wire, copper wire, let us say, in which current is flowing, because this wire is basically connected with the battery and key. When key is closed, current starts flowing in the wire. Now, when current starts flowing through this wire, Oersted observed compass needle is giving deflection in the west side. Okay, so he thought maybe this is done by some mistake. So he changed the connection. Okay, he changed the connection. This is positive side. He placed negative side here and positive side here, means he reversed the connection of the circuit. So what will happen? He closed key and again observed the magnetic needle, the compass needle is giving deflection toward east. So he was shocked. He was really shocked. What is happening? So let us discuss in detail. So let us consider we have a copper wire which is attached with, which is connected with some battery, and current starts flowing from the positive terminal of the battery to the negative terminal of the battery, means this direction. This direction means like this, that is anti-clockwise direction, or we can say the current is flowing in the wire through south to north. This is the direction east, west, north, south. And in first experiment, we will assume the current is flowing from south to north, this direction, from south to north. So when current starts flowing through the wire from south to north, Oersted observed the compass needle, the magnetic compass. What is magnetic compass? Let us discuss. This is the magnetic compass. What is it? It is the instrument which is used to find the direction of magnetic field. Okay. If there is magnetic field, it will tell the direction of magnetic field. Okay. Do you understand? If there is magnetic field, if there exists magnetic field, this compass needle will deflect and tell the direction of magnetic field. Okay. So here, when current starts flowing in the wire through south to north, this needle started giving deflection towards the west, It means there is some magnetic field around this wire. That is why this needle is deflecting toward the west and giving the direction of magnetic field. Do you understand? If there doesn't exist any magnetic field, then magnetic compass will never deflect it from its normal position. Its normal position is from south to north. But when current starts flowing through this wire, this magnetic needle started deflecting toward the west side. So Oersted concluded whenever current is flowing through the wire, there exists magnetic field around this wire, and this magnetic compass is giving the direction of that magnetic field. It means this magnetic compass basically acting as witness of that magnetic field. Means there exists some magnetic field and I am giving the direction. Okay. So now in second experiment, Oersted changed the polarity of the battery. So at this time current starts flowing from positive terminal of the battery to the negative terminal. That means this is the direction, that is clockwise direction. That means current started flowing in the wire from north to south, from north to south. And this time Oersted observed when there is current flowing in the wire through north to south, magnetic needle is deflecting toward the east. So that means there is some magnetic field around the current carrying wire. That means the source of magnetic field is current. Now observations. What did he observe? Number one, let us discuss Snow rule here. So when electric current is passed through a wire from south to north, this is the same diagram as previous, like this. Okay. So when there is current flowing through the wire from south to north, then south to north. Okay. So what is Snow rule? Current I from south to north in the wire, and the wire is placed over some compass needle, or a compass needle is placed over some wire, one and the same thing. Okay. So over means O, and needle is deflected toward the west side. So west means W. So this becomes SNOW, snow. SN means current is flowing in the wire from south to north. O means the wire is placed over the needle or needle is placed over the wire. One and the same thing. Okay. Because what does needle do? It will only give the direction of magnetic field. Okay. Number 3, needle is deflected toward the west. If current is flowing in the wire from south to north, needle is deflecting toward the west. So west means W, and this is the Snow rule. Okay. Number 2, on reversing the direction of current in the wire, the compass needle gets deflected in the opposite direction. That means it will give the direction toward the east if we change this connection. Okay. When current is switched off, very important point. When current is switched off, there is no deflection in the compass needle. Okay. That means when current is off in the circuit, key is open, there is no current flowing in the wire, then magnetic needle, this compass needle will never deflect. Okay, that means if there is current in the circuit, then current is the source of magnetic field around this wire, and that magnetic field is given by this magnetic needle. So when there is no current in the circuit, there is no deflection in the compass needle because there is no magnetic field around the wire. So conclusion, the deflection of compass needle whenever there is current in the wire shows that current carrying wire produces magnetic field around it. Okay. So in other words, flow of electric charge. What is flow of electric charge? That is current. So in other words, the flow of electric charges is the source of magnetic field. Oersted's discovery. Oersted's discovery discussed the discovery of relationship between magnetism and electricity. Obviously, electric charges are flowing, they are giving current, and current in turn is the source of magnetic field. That means magnetism and electricity are correlated with each other. Further, Maxwell, Hertz, Bose, Marconi worked on Oersted's findings, and they carried out same result. They carried out many experiments and concluded the same results and proved that laws of electricity and laws of magnetism are unified, and that unification is called as electromagnetism. Electromagnetism. Okay. So nature of magnetic field. If there is magnetic field around some current carrying wire, then what is its nature? Let us discuss. Now for this, let us consider we have a cardboard. Okay, we have a cardboard, and at the center of the cardboard, let us say we have passed a current carrying wire. Okay, a wire, a straight wire in which some current is flowing, and some iron fillings. Some iron fillings. That means very tiny pieces of iron. Very tiny pieces of iron. They are placed over this cardboard. Okay, they are randomly placed over this cardboard. As soon as the current is switched on in this wire, when current starts flowing through this wire, then what will happen? These iron filings will come in the shape of circles and the shape like these circles. Okay. Okay. What we did? We took a cardboard at the center, a straight wire in which current is flowing, and some iron fillings which are randomly placed over this cardboard. But when current starts flowing through this wire, what will happen? What we see, these iron fillings automatically start moving in circular paths and they come to rest like this in circular paths. Okay. And same experiment when we do with magnetic compass. Magnetic compass, we see when current is flowing in downward direction, then magnetic needle gives direction in this direction. This one, that is clockwise. Okay. When this cross means current flowing in the downward direction and this dot means current flowing in the upward direction. So when current flowing in the downward direction, this is some cardboard and some straight conductor is placed at the center of this cardboard and current is flowing in the downward direction, then compass needle, when we place compass needle near this wire, we will see compass needle is moving like this, giving direction like this. Okay. So that means magnetic field is in the clockwise direction. Okay. And when current starts flowing and when current in the wire is in upward direction, then magnetic needle is giving direction like this. That is anti-clockwise. Okay. That means this anti-clockwise is the direction of magnetic field, and we observe from here that magnetic field around this current carrying conductor is in the form of concentric circles. Okay. So number one, magnetic field around the current carrying conductor consists of concentric circle. What do you mean by concentric circle? That is the circles having same center. Circles having same center. And the magnetic field lying in a plane which is right angle to the current carrying conductor. Obviously, this cardboard is basically at 90 degree to this conductor. Okay. This cardboard and this straight conductor, they are having 90 degree angle. So that means magnetic fields, these concentric magnetic fields, okay, concentric circular magnetic fields are basically right angle to this straight current carrying conductor. Okay. So number two, the conductor acts as center of magnetic field lines. Obviously, this conductor acts as center of this magnetic field lines. Okay, same center. This circle, then this circle, then this circle, but center is same and this line is behaving as center of the circles. Number three, these lines are crowded near the conductor and become farther apart as the distance of the conductor increases. Let us say we have a straight conductor and this is the magnetic field lines around this conductor. When we are close to this straight conductor, then magnetic field lines are congested. And as we move away from this straight conductor, magnetic field lines becomes wide. So what does it show? This shows near the current carrying conductor, magnetic field is strong. And as we move away from the conductor, magnetic field becomes weak. Okay. So that means magnetic field near the current carrying conductor is stronger and becomes weaker as the distance of conductor decreases. Okay. As we move away from this conductor. Number four, the direction of magnetic field at any point is along the tangent of the magnetic field at that point. Let us say we have straight conductor and there is some magnetic field in the form of circle. Okay. So the direction of magnetic field is given by tangent to this circle. Tangent to this circle. Okay. How we will tell the magnetic field direction? We draw a tangent to this circular magnetic field line and that tangent will tell us the direction of magnetic field. But there is one question. Does this tangent act toward upward or in downward direction? Okay, we can have tangent in upward and we can have tangent in downward. So, in order to tell the exact direction of magnetic field, there are two rules. Number one, right-handed screw rule, which is also called as Maxwell's corkscrew rule, and number two, right-hand thumb rule. So, these two rules basically give the exact direction of the magnetic field. Okay, let us discuss one by one. Right-handed screw rule. It is also called as Maxwell's cork rule. For this, let us consider we have a screw. Okay, and we are going to tight this screw. So what we will do? But we will do this experiment with our right hand. Okay, with our right hand. This is the condition. So when you are going to tight this screw, you will move your hand in the clockwise direction. You do with me? Just suppose you are going to tight some screw into the wall. Okay, so screw is going inside the wall and you are moving your hand in the clockwise direction. So the screw is moving towards the wall, is moving inside the wall. That is the direction of current. And your hand, which is moving in the clockwise direction, in order to tight this screw, this clockwise direction will give us the direction of magnetic field. Again, if you are going to lose the screw, that means screw is moving outside the wall, because you want to pull out that screw from the wall. So what you will do? You will move your hand, right hand, in the anti-clockwise direction because you want to lose that screw. So screw is moving outward. Okay, so that will be the direction of current, and the hand, you are moving in the anti-clockwise direction. This anti-clockwise direction will give us the direction of magnetic field. Okay, so this rule is also called as Maxwell corkscrew rule. If we consider ourselves driving a corkscrew in the direction of current, then the direction of corkscrew in the direction of magnetic field. Okay, if you are driving the corkscrew in the direction of electric current, if current is downward, means you are to tight the screw. If current is upward, you have to loosen the screw. So this tighten and loosen, means this clockwise and anti-clockwise will give the direction of magnetic field. Okay, so let us discuss right hand thumb rule. Suppose you have a pen. Okay, hold your pen like this with your right hand, like this. Take your pen and hold your pen like this. Okay, so this thumb will give the direction of current. Thumb is moving upward. Okay, thumb is in the upward direction. So this upward direction of thumb will give the direction of current, and this curl of finger means like this. This will give the direction of magnetic field. Okay, this rule states that when you hold a current carrying conductor in your right hand, then thumb will give the direction of current and the curled finger will give the direction of magnetic field. So these were the two rules which are used to find the exact direction of magnetic field. So now, what is magnetic field? So magnetic field is a place in a space near a magnet or an electric current, because electric current is also the source of magnetic field. So it is a place in a space near the magnet or electric current where a physical field is created from a moving charge that exerts force on another moving charge. So let us say this is the charge Q1 which is in motion. Okay, so if it is in motion, then it will constitute current, and that current will be the source of magnetic field. That means if it is the source of magnetic field, then there will be magnetic field around it, and this boundary is called as a place. This space within this boundary is called as place in the space near a magnet. This is behaving like a magnet where it exerts some physical field which is exerting force on another moving charge. If Q2 is the moving charge, if it comes in this boundary, then this will exert force on it. If this is out of this boundary, out of its reach, then there will be no magnetic force on this Q2 charge. Okay. So that means it is the space around a current carrying conductor or a magnet or a moving charge within which its effect can be felt by another moving charge. Okay. So this is the simplest definition of magnetic field. In next video, we will discuss nature of magnetic field, definition of magnetic field, units and dimension formula, and so many derivations of this chapter. So till then, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay happy, stay healthy.